Welcome back. Episode 5 of Draft Busters here on the Vendetta Sports Media YouTube channel, brought to you by VendettaSportsMedia.com. Every single week down there, Chickster and I look to bring you the best NFL draft coverage that there is that you can find anywhere on the web or YouTube. Chickster, how are we doing?
You didn't bring no excitement, no flair. Like where's the we're doing the fat boys today. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta
We are doing the thick boys in this video, as you guys can see in the title. We are covering the offensive linemen. That's on me. I didn't bring enough energy. That's on me.
I know the fat boys need love. Fat boys need love. You know, I mean,
it's true.
You gotta be very supportive of the fat boys. If you're not supportive of the fat boys, they're not gonna block for you. Not gonna make plays at the line for you. I'm still dealing with.
Yeah, Alex is still. If you guys remember from last week, Alex was going through it a little bit. He's still going through it right now.
I'm still dying, so you know it's okay.
We're gonna look to persevere and power through.
I have tuberculosis. I said that right. Yeah.
That's a miracle coming from you that you pronounced that correctly.
I said that right, but I'm gonna fuck up all of these names. It's okay.
Some of these names on this list are I can't wait to hear you try to say.
I got it. It's easy, light work. It's good. Fat boys, we're coming for you. We got you.
Before we get into the offensive lineman rankings, if I'd be remiss to not mention the tight ends, there's not really 5 to really shout out. This is a top-heavy tight end class. There's 2. There's one that's excellent. There's one that's going to be good, and then it's just a bunch of guys. To go over my 5 through 3, because 2 and 1 are unanimous. My 5 is Theo Johnson out of Penn State. 4 is Dallin Hooker from Colorado State. 3 is Cade Stover from Ohio State.
You know what's crazy is I had the exact same 3, and I'm lying. So
because you didn't make a list,
I didn't make a list. Hell no. You told me you're like, no, we don't really gotta worry about tight ends. So I didn't make a list, and then now you're like, well, these are my 5. And
I thought I mentioned it earlier in the week that we were just gonna briefly go over them.
I was like, all right, fuck me, I guess. My bad. I bet we have to say 1. Brock Bowers.
Brock Bowers from Georgia is among the 5 best players in the draft.
Yeah, so he's
no doubt he is the best tight end. Number 2 is Jatavion Sanders from Texas, who's also he should be a good NFL tight end.
What round do you think he gets picked?
He's a day 2 pick.
Day 2
for sure.
Probably round 3.
I don't think so. I could see him being drafted in the back end of the second round.
Okay.
I could see it.
Okay.
He's got a lot of tools that'll make an NFL team pretty happy. I mean, it's unfair to compare to a guy like Brock Bowers, though. Brock Bowers is like a once in a generational type tight end. It's absurd.
I hate that he's going to go to the Chargers. I hate that's going to happen.
Yeah,
I've already seen the script. I've seen the script. He's going to go to the Chargers. I hate it.
I think the first 7 picks of the NFL draft are set in stone with no trades.
It might be.
With no trades, I think the first 7 picks, I can't see a scenario where the other ones.
The Raiders are fucking it all up. They're trading up.
Because they're trading up to 3.
And they're taking J.J. McCarthy.
I really hope that doesn't happen.
Garrett, I just want you to know that I'm already joking about it, mentally prepared. You know when, my sister started dating Mark, and I was joking about it to, mentally prepare myself? That's what's happening.
God.
If I joke about it,
that is stray here.
If I joke about it to mentally prepare myself, it lessens the blow. Instead of being on a live watch, I might, just cry myself to sleep. You know?
But you would be on a live watch if J.J. McCarthy is in a Raiders uniform next year.
Oh, my God.
Here's the thing. I think I mentioned it in the quarterbacks video, which you can find on our YouTube as well. I think if J.J. McCarthy goes to a system where he is not the starter right away, I think he could be okay.
Well, yeah. Well,
but if he ends up in Vegas, if he ends up in Vegas, he's probably beating out Aiden O'Connell.
I just hope we trade up to get at least Caleb Williams, Drake May, or Jane Daniels. If we don't,
then you might as well stay pat at 12 or 13.
13. Very lucky 13. Very lucky 13.
Hey, in Vegas too.
Yeah.
Vegas picking 13. Who knows?
Yeah, we might stay pat and get Newton. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Just so you guys understand what's going to take place here, and for our lovely editor Brooke as well to help out with this, we are going to go over 5 tackles. Then we're going to go over 5 interior offensive linemen. That way, we're not giving you 10 tackles, 10 offensive linemen, because this video would be 2 hours long. We don't want to do that to you. We're going to give you our top 5 tackles, our top 5 interior offensive linemen. Alex, would you rather do tackles first, or would you rather do the big boys inside first?
I think tackles are flashier, so let's save the tackles for last.
Okay. I like that. I respect that. We're going to do the interior offensive lineman. That could be either one of your guards or your center as well. Just for the viewers watching at home who may be confused, we're going to rank the guards and the centers in the same list. Alex, let's hear it. Your number 5 interior offensive lineman.
How about you go first?
That is true. You told me that I should lead here. That's fine.
Yeah.
My number 2 center in the class comes in at number 5 in the interior offensive lineman list. That is Cedric Von Prawn from Georgia.
This is going to suck. Okay.
Oh no.
Yeah. Let's
I can tell our list's already off to a rough start, and that's okay.
Yeah. It's all right.
Von Prawn he is a guy who has played at the highest level. He's got SEC football experience. He's got the wingspan that you like. He plays with the tenacious side. He's got footwork. His snaps pretty quick as well. I like how agile he is. He's a guy who can get out and move in space. I really like him a lot. I just have some questions about his hand placement, his hand speed. His initial punch isn't the greatest. A lot of these phrases that you are going to hear from Alex and I are probably going to be repeated over and over. But these are like your main things you look for from the offensive lineman. I think if Von Prawn, and I might be butchering his name, so I apologize if I am.
I'm not.
I think he could stand to. It's crazy to say hit the weight room a little bit from an offensive lineman, but his punch and his hands just don't seem strong enough right now, where he could easily be beaten by like a big old hefty nose tackle. So I'd like to see him beef up his hands a little bit.
Beef him up, just
beef him up.
How do you beef up your hands?
I want you to get some malice. I want you to have those those things, those little squeezer things where you sit. Yeah, do some of those. Get your forearms burning. Get your grip strength up.
You know how actually who has big wrists? Waiters, actually. Waiters
Who?
too. Waiters.
Yeah, because they gotta go like this.
Yeah, like my dad.
Sir.
My dad used to be a waiter, and so like if you ever see like this dude's wrist, like it's just like because every time he's like, all right, let's arm wrestle. This is just fucking cool, and I'm like, all right, yeah, I know. It's like, dude, what the fuck? And he's like,
where was he a waiter at?
It was before he was in the military. But
okay.
I always make jokes that like his wrists are big because he's what I'm saying, and
absurd.
And he was like,
absolutely crazy.
I make jokes when I'm uncomfortable because I'm not sure about my list. Okay, here we go.
I can't wait to hear it.
Zach Zinter, out of Michigan.
Oh boy, our lists are going to be crazy.
Yeah, we're not on the same page, but
that's all right. It's all right.
Considerably, you watch more linemen, and actually, you have a little bit of a niche at linemen.
Which is so annoying.
Yeah, you called a little bit of like some of the better linemen in years past. So, that's why I told you. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna need you.
Let me take the lead. Yeah, that's fair.
He's raw. He's a raw. He's very raw. I know that. Okay, I know, but he's fucking huge, and he's gonna fucking maul people in the fucking run blocking. Like, I mean, if you're looking for a run heavy team, like fuck, like Zach Zinter is gonna be your guy at guard. He's not gonna do very well in the pass. You might get a few seconds out of him, but I would not depend on him in the past. But fuck, he's gonna pull, he's gonna go, he's gonna run someone over. He's fucking massive, and he's gonna be fucking mean about it. Okay, so I mean, he's gonna be fucking huge. Just gotta get him in the run game. Don't depend on him in the pass, but if you could develop that side of him, I think he might be okay. And in the fucking inside, but plus, he's just fucking huge. If you just put him in the fucking middle as a guard for pass protection, just like, hey, just put your fucking hands
gap
on him.
blocker. Yep.
Like he's not like a fucking tackle. He doesn't get Doesn't have to get the fucking edge. He just has to be able to get a fucking nose tackle or a 3 technique. If he can handle that, he'll be fine. But in the run game, he'll be moving. He'll move. I like it.
Zach center. All right, I respect it.
Number 4.
Number 4.
And this is why I got nervous, because we don't have the same center. Zach Frazier out of West Virginia.
Okay.
I do not.
This is gonna be fun.
I feel the judgment, and I don't need judgment. Okay.
Hey, listen, brother. It's a judgment-free zone. Listen, I will say this. I'm pretty sure our 4 out of our 5 tackles were the same.
I think we did great on the tackles. I feel like we are on the same. That's why I was like, let's just get the ugly and the bad out the way right now. Hopefully the viewers stick around and don't leave because of me, because then we can talk about the tackles, which is flashier. So.
Yep. God.
So, Zach Frazier. He's not flashy. He's not going to be flashy. He's going to be a solid center. He's very quick. Is he consistent? Probably not. But listen, I know I'm not making a very good case for him, okay? It's just because I feel so judged. Because you gave me this look, and then you didn't say anything, and I was like, great, I fucked this up. But he's going to be solid. I feel like he will be solid. He'll be quick. He needs to be a little bit more consistent in the pass game and run game, but he does have tools to succeed at the next level. Now, Garrett doesn't think so, which is fine. I've already sang praises to Garrett. So I'm gonna trust Garrett's lead on this sometimes, but this is the good thing about this, is because we don't share what we have.
That is true. These are raw reactions that you're getting. So
yeah. So when he's looking at me like I'm a fucking dumbass, it's raw. He means that.
Is he your number 2 center? Do you have any more centers outside of who's probably number 1?
Oh no, I only had 2 centers.
I know, but your other center, I'm assuming, is number 1 interior.
Yes,
that we can agree on.
Woo!
Zach Frazier, I don't think is among my 4 centers.
Okay, so some of us are higher on him than others. It's fine.
I know. I was just saying it for conversation, baby. I wasn't saying it to try to dog you or nothing. I was just saying.
I felt like that was a dog move there, but I'm not gonna lie. It's okay.
You know what? And maybe that's on me. Maybe I should have. Okay. Maybe I should have worded it a little bit better.
All right.
I do think he's not on my 5, but I think Bo Limmer out of Arkansas is a little bit better. But
there you go. All right, let's go. Next one.
My number 4.
I'm trying to get through these interior linemen. I'm trying to get rid of this ugliness.
My number 4 is my 3rd rated guard in the class. Coming in number 4 is Cooper Beebe.
Hey,
out of Kansas State.
We're working with something here.
Potential. One of the bigger knocks on him is going to be his level of competition playing at Kansas State. Didn't play against a ton of great defensive line guys. He was pretty heavily rated coming into this year. He was up there as one of the top rated guards in the class. And I don't think he did a ton to necessarily fall from that. I did mention he's my 3rd rated guard in the class, which we're going to get to the other 2 here shortly. But I don't think he did a ton to establish himself as the guy either. He's a guy who's definitely going to be a stronger presence in a run block scheme. If you get him into a system with run heavy offense somewhere like Pittsburgh, somewhere potentially like a Tennessee next year, they have a new head coach, maybe not Tennessee, but he's a guy who can maul people. He's got the nice hands, he's got the punch, always seems to lean forward, which I kind of like, but he could lunge a little bit as well. Kind of need to work on that a little bit. As I'm saying my list, when I get to number 3, I am debating flip-flopping these 2. But I think I'm just going to stick with it. My number 3 is Christian Haynes, guard out of UConn.
We're working.
All right. I respect it.
Okay,
That's good. That's good. We started rough, but
Bro,
we're bringing it back down to earth a little bit. I like it. I like
it's
it.
all about the top three anyway, baby. It's all about
That
the
is
top
true.
three
That is
anyway for
fair.
me. There we go. We're
I
good.
was able to watch Christian Haynes in Mobile at the Senior Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I came away impressed. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
He wasn't somebody who was like necessarily low on my list. He was just a guy who was, if I see him making some flashes, great. If I don't, I'm not too bent out of shape about it. Christian Haynes had a good showing in Mobile. There's some really solid defensive tackles at Mobile this year, and he did a pretty decent job, especially against like a physical kind of rusher, the nose tackle, the three technique. He's got the pad level you want. He's got good knee bend. He sits his ass. He's an anchor. When that
He
ass
sits his
goes,
ass.
he ain't moving.
He's moving.
And I
He
like that
ain't
quite a
moving.
bit. I like that quite a bit. He
How,
always seems level as well.
so yeah, he was part of that. I want to say viral, but just that one of the more popular clips coming out of Mobile when it was him, I believe, in a Michigan uh, defender, and they got into it a little bit, and he's got his helmet thrown, and he
Mhm.
like
It's LSU's Jordan Jefferson
that's what
at
it was. I'm
defensive
sorry.
tackle who
Yeah.
yeah.
So like some people are like, he's kind of soft. Some people are like, composed. Like, what's your take
I
on him?
love it. I love it. I want the guy who's not going to fight back and get another penalty to offset it.
Yeah.
I want the guy who's just going to sit there and smile and take it, and when we're beating you later in the game, then we're going to talk shit.
Yeah.
That's what I want, because the helmet gets flung, gets thrown across. That's 15 yards, right? Thank you for the yards. Where I don't want a player who's going to be like, "Oh, you want to start some shit, push and shove and all that." Like it's good to have guys like that on the team. I'm not saying I don't want nobody who's going to talk shit or get back in their face.
Yeah.
But I like knowing that if my guy gets his helmet ripped off and fucking thrown at him, he's like, "All right, go. You need some church."
Well, what was good about that is Haynes won the fucking rep too, and then
This
that
is true.
happened, and
Yeah,
then, but
it'd be different if he like lost the rep and then got treated like that.
and then me like, I I I I applaud him for not fighting back, but I would have been fucking talking. Like I would have been like, I was like, yeah, you mad because you're fucking ass. Yeah, you throw my helmet because you fucking ass. Like I would be talking that kind of shit to
No, yeah, listen, you are
him.
100% right. You are 100% right. I
So
didn't view it as a detractor or anything.
yeah,
I didn't view it as an issue.
it's not a detractor. It shows that he's composed. I feel like,
Mhm.
and I think that's something that you don't always see. You can look at, but sometimes you're like, hey, is this guy gonna give me a fucking penalty
Yep.
for being a fucking knucklehead, for being a chicken head? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, I definitely would have said more than just you need some church. But I mean, that's just me though.
Oh
I'm
no. I
I'm a
would have been jawing.
I am a chirper though. Like we're both chirpers. Like we're gonna chirp. Like we're just all
I have gotten Alex into some situations that he did not want
fuck
to
it.
be
See,
in our life, because
I'm
I chirp.
yeah. Well, I chirp too, but I do it for I do it methodically. Like I think about, oh, if I had to fight, can I take? I don't pick the
I'm just
biggest
chirping.
black dude I've ever seen in
I'm
my
just
life
fucking chirping.
and like chirping at that dude, and I'm just like, listen,
So
I
so
don't want to fight this dude,
quick
but
context. Quick context really quick. This was shortly after I had moved to Texas for school. Alex's parents were gracious enough to let me live with them before Alex and I moved into the dorms in Midland College. They invited me on a cross country trip to California to visit some of their family. They took the RV. It was a great time. Absolutely so much fun.
we were in
We
El
stopped
Paso.
we stopped in El Paso and we were visiting some of their family. And on that Saturday we arrived was one of the bigger UFC fights in history. It was Conor McGregor versus Chad Mendez,
Yep.
right? And we go to Buffalo Wild Wings. It's just Alex and I. And the main event comes. We're both rooting for McGregor. Most of the place is rooting for McGregor. We're sitting outside in the patio, got these long ass tables, right? It's almost like cafeteria style.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting, Alex is sitting next to me, and I think two guys down.
So it's about. I think it's like 3 or 4. Yeah. It's not.
Fucking
He can hear us.
fucking
For sure.
Tyrese, 6'4", 255 pounds, big
A
old
big brawling dude. Like he's a fucking dude. He's a tank. He's a
So
unit.
for those who don't know how the fight ended, it ended in the second round. Conor McGregor TKO Chad Mendez with like seconds left in the round. We're all celebrating. Da 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 da. They're doing the post fight press conference, whatever. The dude next to us is like, "That's all right, Chad. You did great. You
The
almost
big
got
dude.
him."
The big dude.
The big dude. He's like, "You know what? You did great, Chad. Hey, proud to be an American, baby. All right." And out loud, I said something to the effect of like, "Man, could you imagine like cheering for the guy that fucking lost?"
Yeah, and
And
then
I
you're
just
like,
like
he fucking
kept
lost
going.
though. And he's like, yeah, but he fucking lost though. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
And
Garrett.
I think the dude chirped back at me once, and then that's when I was just like, "Yeah, but he fucking lost though." And then
Yeah.
Alex was like, "Hey, let's go." And so
I'm like,
Alex like took me out to the front door, and we waited for our ride.
listen, yo, listen. I'm a shit talker. I'm a chirper. I'm also a bitch. Like, if it's gonna come to blows, I'm like, hey, I'm trying not to do this. If I get cornered, I'm gonna fight, but like I'm a bitch. Like I ain't trying to fight everybody. You know what I'm saying?
I see.
Garrett's trying to say shit all the way out. He's just like, yeah, he fucking lost though. I'm like, yeah, he did. Let's go, Garrett. Come on,
I can't.
please.
I can't help it.
I
I
know.
genuinely cannot help it.
I
I
know.
love to chirp.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Oh, we got out of that situation. That's not the first situation either. It's not the last one either.
Oh, it definitely will not be the last, but it was not the first either.
Fuck.
It was definitely not the
We're gonna be
first.
fucking 70 years old and you're gonna be chirping at the fucking golfers, like trying to fight when we're fucking
Oh yeah.
70. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
Alex and I
don't
could be on the golf course at 70. We're gonna be long retired, right? And the dudes behind us gonna be pressing up against us. And my 70-year-old ass is gonna turn around and be like, "I wish you guys fucking would hit up here. Because I'm hitting this fucking ball to the next fairway. Let's go. Come on."
and then me. Huh? What?
What are they selling?
What is he? What is he say? I can't hear. Huh? Garrett, who are you trying to fight now?
All right.
Why did I try? Okay.
Story time's over. Let's get back into it. Alex is on his number 3 interior offensive lineman in the
Cooper
2024 NFL
VV
draft.
out of
Okay.
Kansas State. So that's why I was like, the thing he is, he's gonna move forward. He's immovable though. Like there's he doesn't he's not the best in pass protection because you kind of mentioned it already. He leans forward. And when you're pass protecting, like need to lean back, hey, lean back, lean back. No, but like pass protection, you gotta be able to play back. Kind of not. It's like a hot call. Kind of letting defenders come to you, trying to figure out what gaps they're shooting, so you can cover gaps inside out most of the time. But it's gonna be a hot call. So usually when you're playing, especially as a guard, you got to be able to get back. That's that's not his strong suit. I know, bro. It was a very like dramatic. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's not his strong suit. Can be a little bit imbalanced at times. Uh, but I mean, he can play. He's not bad. What did I write here? I wrote something, but you ever have such bad handwriting that you can't read it?
I
Yeah,
get it.
that's me. But no, I mean, like he's a lot better in in the rush game, in the run game. He's gonna move forward. He's going to get you a few yards, especially. I'm not sure if he'll be a very good puller for you. Don't know if he's fast enough for it. But if you're going probably just a power running scheme and you're going forward at the guy, he'll be there for you.
He's a good guy for that.
He's gonna follow you for that. Press the A gap, kind of follow his ass. He'll get you somewhere. Like it'll work for you. So he's gonna be a movable object, and even though we're talking about passing, uh, like if he gets in the right gap, he's not gonna go backwards. I don't think you're gonna really beat him unless you catch him off guard. Like you gotta be able to go around him at first. So as long as you don't go around, as long as he doesn't get around, he should be okay. But you're not gonna be him going at him and then hand fighting. Like once he's there, he's there. He's gonna get you. But the best way to get around him, or the best way to beat him, at least in pass protection, is probably gonna get around him. So, but better as a run blocker. Are we on my number 2? Is that what it
Yep.
is? Okay, my number 2, Christian Haynes, which we kind of already talked. He's a little undersized. He is a little undersized, and you can see that in some of the mobile reps, some of these other, but has really good leverage. And we talked about how he was composed. Uh, don't get that confused. He's mean though. And during the rep, he's
Plays
gonna be
physical.
fun.
Yeah.
He's got a little nasty streak to him. He's a little fucking mean. He's quick. He's got to be quick because he's a little bit smaller. He's very coordinated. And that kind of goes more into your leverage. When you're a smaller guard, you're gonna have to be a little bit quicker. You're gonna have to have be a little bit more coordinated athlete and be able to use all of your body for leverage. And he does a great job at that. And like I said, it also helps that he's mean. This is going to be a really good pulling guard. He's gonna hide behind the offensive line and he's gonna pull and he's gonna kick out the first defender on the outside. Kind of open up that C gap for you. He's gonna be really good as far as that. Will be mean in the trenches. With him being small, you kind of have to worry about him pass protection wise, but I think he'll get there. He's gonna get the gap. He's gonna close gaps for you, but he's not gonna be able to hold like an Aaron Donald forever. You're gonna have to get him out. He's gonna do his best, but uh, at the end of the day, like how long do you expect him to do it? I mean, he's going against guys in mobile, but you gotta think seasoned veterans going against him 1-on-1. Like as small and mean and nasty and quick, that only goes so far. Eventually, size comes into the equation. But I do like Christian Haynes. He's going to be a good athlete. He's going to be a good guard. But yeah.
My number 2 on my interior offensive line rankings for the 2024 NFL Draft is Graham Barton out of Duke. Now, this may come as a bit of a surprise to some because Graham Barton played, I think, mostly all of last year and maybe even part of the year before at left tackle. So he played most of the year at tackle. He reminds me a lot of Peter Skoronski last year, the tackle from Northwestern,
Yeah.
who has the size you want up top, but the wingspan, the arm length isn't necessarily where you want it to be like a prototypical like elite blindside blocker or even like right tackle either. I don't necessarily know that I would love putting him outside of right tackle. I think he'd be a hell of a guard though. I really
Yeah.
do think a move inside for him would be best. He would be my number 1 rated guard in the class. He's going to be good regardless, especially if he kicks inside because he's agile. He's got the footwork you want. He's got tackle experience. So he knows hand placement very well. He's got the punch you want. He's also athletic. He's going to be able to pull. He's going to be able to get upfield. He's going to be able to get out in screens. He's got all of it. He's got everything you want. The downside, as I mentioned, is that wingspan. If a team drafts him to play at tackle, just got to be a little concerned about that wingspan because speed rushers could get up there really quick in that chest, and then if you get in his chest, especially early, it's game over.
Yeah.
So maybe just like tighten up that base a little bit, get right in here immediately because he tends to be a little lackadaisical getting set into his base after his kickback. Tighten this up a little bit if he's going to stay outside to protect against the speed rushers. I think a move inside would be beneficial for him 100%. Our number 1, which
Yep.
I can confidently say we have the same. The top
Yep.
center in the class is Jackson Powers Johnson out of Oregon.
Whoa. Hold on. No, I'm just fucking with you.
I was going to say, if he's not even in your top 5, then we have a real problem. Because he is by far in a way, you did. I ain't gonna lie to you. Because he is by far and away the best interior offensive lineman in the class.
Yep.
Like no doubt in my mind, he's the best center in the class. No doubt in my mind, he established himself in Mobile as well.
Yep.
He is a mauler. Well, I think you used the word mauler like once or twice in talking about some of your guys. He like you look up mauler in the dictionary, and there's just his face right there.
There's that
He's
motherfucker.
going to eat in the run game. He's also pretty solid in pass protection as well, which is nice, which is somewhat unexpected from a center necessarily.
Yeah.
He's a Remington Trophy winner, best center in the nation. He didn't allow a single sack in his entire career at Oregon.
Nice.
That is a stat that I like.
Yeah.
I love that. He thrives in his own scheme. He gets out of his stance exceptionally quickly. Great
Yes.
acceleration. The footwork's there.
Explodes.
He's explosive. That one of the drawbacks on him was, as I mentioned, he thrives in a zone scheme. That's what he played almost his entire career at Oregon. I had the opportunity to ask him in Mobile if he thinks he has the ability to play outside of a zone scheme. If he goes to a team that doesn't necessarily like primarily play zone, if he's excited to show that he can play outside of a zone scheme, 100%. He's like, yep, I'm excited to show that I can play any type of scheme, any position they want me to play. I love guys like that. But that is a drawback on him. He may be excited to show teams he can play outside of zone scheme, but we just got to see it. But I think no matter what, he's going to excel. I mentioned this in Mobile that I wouldn't be shocked if he finds his way into the first round.
Yeah.
And before the draft process started, he was being mocked like a late day 2 pick. If I was at the back end of the first round, I would have so much confidence in taking him in the first round, especially to get like a 5th year option. I would take him in the first round in a heartbeat.
At like 13?
No.
Okay.
I would not take a center of 13.
I was just figuring out
unless he's the second coming of Jason Kelsey. I'm not taking a center that high.
I'm just asking.
Guys like Creed Humphrey, which Creed Humphrey I believe was a 2nd round pick, and that was fucking absurd. Tyler Linderbaum, I believe, went 27th to Baltimore. I was pounding the table for Pittsburgh to take Linderbaum. I really wanted him in Pittsburgh, and look what he's doing in Baltimore as he's thriving. Linderbaum's really, really good. I think a team's going to want to take him in the first round to go ahead and get their guy.
Fair enough. All right. Tackles.
Tackles it is.
Time for the tackles. Here we go.
All right, I'm letting you start.
Number 5, Amarius Mims out of Georgia.
Okay.
Good pick.
He's in my 5.
Okay. Not even at. Okay. What screams out? I know. Dude's fucking. He's got the size. He's fucking agile. And he does a lot of great things. The guy can fucking play. He's gonna be a fucking player. Just kind of sloppy at times. Just like little inconsistent. Sometimes gets lazy with the footwork. Sometimes the hands aren't always there. That can be coached. I feel like that can be coached. What you're buying into is you're buying into the size. You're buying into how athletic he can be, how agile, his lateral quickness. He can do it all. He can do it. That's the big thing. He can do it, but you're gonna have to be able to coach him to be consistent with his footwork. Got to be consistent with his hands. Got to be consistent with his leverage. He's got to be consistent with everything in the NFL. Because when you're not consistent, that's when you get beat. That's gonna be the play you get beat. So maybe he might start, but if he doesn't start, it's just gonna be because he's just got to be coached up. But will start eventually once he gets those things figured out. I mean, he's got everything though. He could do it.
Nope, I 100% agree with you. Just really want to quickly give honorable mentions. I have 2 honorable mentions for interior offensive line, and then I want to briefly touch on the tackles really quick before I get into my list. Honorable mention for interior offensive lineman is Bo Limmer, who I mentioned, the center out of Arkansas. I think he's got potential to be really, really good as well. He just needs some refinement.
Yep.
And then Kingsley Ekukon, I'm butchering the last name, a guard from Florida. He feels like a poor man's Osiris Torrance from last year, who was a Senior Bowl stallion last year. He ended up in Buffalo. Bro, he was exceptionally good last year in Mobile.
You got a stallion.
Bro, and Osiris Torrance is really good. I like Osiris Torrance a lot. He should develop into a really, really good guard. Ekukon kind of reminded me of the similar play style that Torrance showed last year. He's currently being mocked as like a day 3 pick. I like if you can steal this kid in like the 5th round, he could turn into a potential starter down the road. I like him quite a bit. My 5. Honorable mention really quick. I want to talk about it really quick. My 1 through 3 are set. I was never going to waver on my 1 through 3.
Okay.
4 and 5 genuinely could have been like 4 different guys. It could have. I especially want to give shout out to Tyler Guyton from Oklahoma. He's a kid who had
Almost got it in my list. Almost went in my list.
he had a very good Senior Bowl week of practices as well. I'm very excited to see him test at the combine because some of the tests that he shows, like his measurables and things like that, he can start moving up some boards as well. My number 5, I'm gonna butcher the name. Trey loves him, absolutely in love with him. Kingsley Suamatiaya, King from BYU. He comes in at my number 5.
I
Trey
thought you had
believes
another guy. Sorry, I thought you had another guy at for an honorable mention. But continue.
Dominic Puny out of Kansas.
Okay.
Big riser. I like him a bit. Kingsley, Trey believes is going to be the number 1 tackle in the class.
Ooh.
I don't see it, but that's not to say that I don't like him. I think he will be a plus starter in the NFL. Just turned 21, I believe, 2 weeks ago. Former 5-star recruit. That's a big deal at tackle.
Yes.
That is absolutely a big deal. He's going to test. He's very athletic. He's going to test very well. I'm excited to see his shuttle. I'm excited to see that 10-yard little burst really quick. He should also test really well in the drills as well. The footwork always feels like it is, I don't want to say perfect because then I can't nitpick, but like the footwork is always there. It's always how we want it. The hand placement feels the same as well. It feels like everything's moving in one quick motion. He's got the speed to get outside for screenplays, things like that. He's got big old long wingspan too. So there is a lot to like. He was in Mobile as well. Good week of practices. Pass pro isn't his strength. So if you're going to be playing left tackle, got to clean it up a little bit. Speed rushers is also going to be an Achilles heel of his. I'd like to see him get out of his kickback a little bit faster. His first step isn't where necessarily I would want it to be to take him in as a first round prospect. I would be totally cool with taking him in the second round. 100%, no questions asked. If someone takes him like the tail end of the first round, I wouldn't hate it either. There's a lot of tackles in this class who are going to be really good.
You got to get a tackle this year if you need one.
If you need one, this is the year to get one for sure. Pardon me. My number 4 is Amarius Mims out of Georgia.
All right.
Also, former 5-star recruit as well. He's a big boy. You want to talk about thickums. 6'7", 340 pounds.
Yeah.
That is a big boy. The knees is what kind of stands out to me right away. His knee bend is really, really solid. He gets low into his base. He doesn't seem like he ever gets overpowered by power rushers, which is something that I like, which should translate really well into the next level. The potential's there, and I say that because he doesn't have a ton of starts for Georgia. He didn't have a ton of starts, so I'm curious to see the consistency going into the NFL. When he has to pull, he can do it. He doesn't take the best angles either. So if you try to get him out into space, he doesn't have the right mindset to try to hit those gaps properly. But you also aren't asking your tackles a ton to get out into space.
No,
So that's something that isn't necessarily a huge detractor, but it's something that I noticed. The hands also aren't very strong. So that punch that you want right away to get that initial contact just needs to be strengthened a little bit because he can be a bit what's the word I'm looking for?
Soft,
essentially.
Soft.
Those hands can get beaten down pretty quickly into like a swim move. So
soft.
SAWFT. Soft.
Number 4. I'm a butcher. Talise Fuaga out of Oregon State.
See, I learned how to say his name in Mobile because he was another Senior Bowl guy. I already forgot. Talise? Maybe?
Yep. Fuaga.
Anyway.
Yep. Out of Oregon State. He does a lot of good things. I mean, he can play. I'm really just gonna hit on his his knocks really. His hips doesn't listen to Shakira. Hips might lie to you a little bit. He doesn't not moving. I'm glad you like how that joke like caught on, didn't you? Right? His hips
I'm
aren't
proud of it.
always there. He needs to be a little bit more flexible. Needs to be able to be a little bit more fluid in his hips. Got to get his hips into the motion. Can be upright. At times, like doesn't always kind of get in his stance and stay there. Like he's got to be better at that. Inconsistent feet. But he's just gotta and it just needs to be a little bit more disciplined. Be disciplined in the pass game, especially as a tackle. Like you got to be disciplined as, especially if you're responsible for the edge coming off. Like you got to be able to be responsible for him. Um, but I mean, that's all his bad things. He can play. He will do good things in the run game. He will do good things in the pass game. But like in the pass game, I think he's better in the run game than he is the pass game. His pass protect. Still trying not to die. Still trying not to die. Yeah, you ever seen Wolf of Wall Street? And Matthew McConaughey's like he's like.
Dude, you need some of that right now. Not the
I know,
cocaine, by the
right?
way.
No, not the
Just want to
cocaine.
clarify.
No,
I'm not talking about Alex needs cocaine.
no,
He does
please
not need
don't.
hard
Please,
drugs.
good God, I think that would be the worst thing. And I've never done hard drugs in my life, and I feel like that would
Have
be
you ever been
the
high?
worst. No,
Ooh,
yeah,
it's a fucking trip. I have smoked once, and I did not have a very good time. I did not. My body did not react very well. Over the past couple of weeks, though, I've been having some little chocolate pieces.
yeah. You've been having some Ed and Eddies,
Huh?
Ed and Eddies.
Ed, and Ed. Oh,
You like that?
yeah.
You like that? Yeah, you like that, huh?
I was just
No,
curious. I couldn't remember if you've ever been high or not because I know
no.
Cameron has before.
It
That's
it
Alex's
kind of
wife, by the way.
it kind of scares me. So I don't. I eventually I will.
That
I don't know
I
if I
wouldn't
should
smoke
admit that, but
first. I wouldn't
no,
smoke first.
I would. I
I would
don't.
try and I will never smoke again. I
The
won't
the
do it. I had
the
such a bad reaction the
sensation
first time.
the sensation of smoking just does not seem like a fun experience.
That's fair.
Like so, but yeah. Am I on my number 3 now?
You were up to 3, correct?
J.C. Latham out of Alabama. This guy, athletic. This guy, he's got the fucking size. This guy will kill someone in the run blocking schemes. He will go fucking run block for you. This guy has got some hands on him. This guy, only really knock he has is really, and it's kind of very important, but pass protection needs to be better. And I mean, like, it sounds redundant, but like, for a tackle, your pass protection could always be better. There's not a perfect tackle. That's a lie. But like Orlando Pace, that guy was good. The only reason why
And
I
the fucking dog from San Francisco as well.
Trent Williams,
Yeah, Trent Williams is
yeah.
as close to perfect as you're gonna get in the modern NFL.
You know how I learned Orlando Pace's name? NFL Street. That guy is a fucking unit in NFL Street. NFL Street 1 and 2. That guy,
Yep,
if I was drafted, I was picking that motherfucker first overall.
because you ain't never getting rushed off the left side. Never.
Yeah. And
It's true.
you picked him and you picked Champ Bailey. Anytime you had
Oh, of
Champ Bailey,
course,
Champ Bailey was a
because he had
fight like
99 speed.
that dude was a fucking like he was a cheat code. And he's like and he could catch still. He could catch, he could still run like no, he was a fucking cheat code. Uh but yeah, like pass protection. Um and it sounds redundant to say it, but like, most tackles when you get to the NFL, you're as a rookie, your pass protection is not always going to be perfect. So you're going to hear me say that a lot. But he does a lot of great things, and he's from Alabama, which kind of helps your case. If you play for Alabama, usually it's like, hey, he's played against everyone. He
The
played
best
in
of the best.
the best of the best. So, I mean, he's fucking athletic. He's got the size. He's got the hands. Can run block for you. Needs better pass block. Needs better pass blocking. But everything else is there. Pass blocking will be developed. He's a guy from fucking Alabama who deserves to be in the first round. He's gonna do great things for you. If I could stop dying, oh my god.
Do you have drink with you or something? Drink some of that. Golly.
This is an extreme thirst.
This is an extreme thirst.
What's that from?
It's SpongeBob.
It's SpongeBob. And what is he holding? He's not holding water.
It's a jug.
Of,
it's like a handled jug of
It's a pitcher. It's a pitcher of what?
It's a pitcher. What the fuck is it of?
Oh, what's the pitcher of?
This is an extreme thirst. Glug. I can't remember.
It's lemonade. Lemonade.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
If you want to ever know any obscure knowledge, like half of my brain is just SpongeBob memories. I don't know why, but it is. It's ingrained. You ask me anything about SpongeBob,
it's our childhood.
Yeah, like the early seasons, not the new seasons. The new seasons are ass.
Trash.
But like
terrible. God awful.
The old ones, yeah, I know probably almost every episode known to man, and that's not a good thing to admit on stream. All right, here we go. Go ahead.
JC Latham, while he may not be in my top 5, is another guy that I want to give shout to as well for a lot of the reasons that you said. He is very athletic. He's got the raw tools that you can work for, that you can kind of mold into what you want a tackle to be. He's not in my top 5 because most of these guys are left tackles and JC Latham plays right tackle.
Yeah.
I could see a scenario where a team takes JC Latham in the first round and I would not hate it. I think that these tackles up here just they either can play left or do play left, and I prioritize that a little bit more. But that's not a knock on JC Latham because I also think he's going to be a good tackle.
I think the Raiders could pick JC Latham if they stand pat. I think that might be one of their options at 13. They might want to trade down and then pick him, but that might be a little high for him. But I think
that'd be a little high depending on some of the guys that are still on the board.
Well, it's the Raiders,
But pairing him with Colton Miller wouldn't be terrible. I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. My number 3 is Talisay Fuaga from Oregon State. Yeah, he's my number 3 tackle. He's a guy, holy shit, you want to talk about a big riser? I think I don't even know if he was a day 2 guy coming into the year, and now he's going to go in the first round of the draft. I love that for him. I had the chance to sit in on his Senior Bowl interviews, and I got to ask him a question as well. Super down-to-earth guy. Very down-to-earth, very humble, not braggadocious whatsoever. What I asked him...
What a word.
What?
Braggadocious.
Braggadocious. Yeah, you like that, don't you?
Yeah, I like that. All right, go ahead.
I got the opportunity to ask him one of the bigger things that scouts were kind of knocking him for was his ability in pass protection, because he's a unit in run blocking. Those Oregon State guys love to run the ball, and he was very good on the offensive line in run block. If he was excited at the opportunity to show scouts and teams that he wasn't just a run blocker, and essentially the same thing that I had the conversation with Jackson Powers with, is that he's ready to show it. And like, I could see it, to be honest. He's a guy that, like, he's super athletic. He's got the arms that you want. You mentioned his hips aren't very loose. That's not a huge detractor for me, because they are so tight. He can bow up to pass rushers, like power rushers, like bull rushers.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I take that as a strong suit. One of the knocks on him is that he could be beaten by speed rush kind of guys because those hips aren't loose enough. So you were 100% right on that for sure. He plays mean. He plays a physical, nasty style of football. Like I say, he's a mauler in the run blocking. His hands are always in the right place. They're right where you want them. He's got the knee bend. It's very good. His kickback's really solid. His first step sits his ass really well. His wingspan's not great. I believe he's got a longer wingspan than Grant Barton, so I wouldn't move him inside. But he could struggle getting against guys who want to get up into his chest early.
Yeah.
So if he gets into the right system with a really good offensive line, like a mentor he can be with, or like a good offensive line coach, I think that's something you can teach really well. One of my favorite prospects.
Hold on. So Are we gonna have the same 2 and 1, or are you flip flopping them? That's what
No,
I want to
no,
know.
no. I think we have the same 2 and 1. We might not actually, because I don't know.
I don't know which 2 and 1 you're going with.
My number 2 tackle in the 2024 NFL Draft is Olu Fashanu from Penn State. And
All
listen,
right,
it like
all
it's
right,
I almost wanted to put it as
all
1A
right.
and 1B.
You
Genuinely,
can't,
I
you
was
can't,
like
you
that's what I'm
can't,
saying.
you can't
I
do
feel
it.
like it was going to be a cop out. I think the potential of Joe Alt, and we're going to get to him in a second. Spoiler alert: he's my number 1 tackle in the class. Olu Fashanu from Penn State could have declared last year and also would have been a top 10 pick. He decided to go back to Penn State for one more year. Wasn't the best decision because Penn State wasn't great this year. But I digress. He should be a top 10 pick this year as well. That speaks to the high level of football that this kid can play. He
Mm.
can play every position on the line. He's got experience in college playing almost all the positions on the line. And you know me, Alex. I
You like
love
those versatiles.
I love offensive linemen who can play fucking everything. I
Yep,
absolutely love it.
yep.
He excels in the run block. He's very good against the pass as well, but he thrives against in a like a run blocking scheme. He's got the acceleration to play guard, to play inside. He can pull really well, really strong hands. He's on the younger side as well, which I really like. Pause. Um, I didn't want it to come off on my Josh Giddey shit. I didn't want to be Josh Giddey. I didn't want to be Josh Giddey. I'm sorry. Uh,
That's fucking crazy.
so my biggest knock on him is that when you watch his tape, he can play a little too upright at times.
He can play high.
It,
He can play high.
he can play high. Pause. But that's something again that can be coached out of him. His hand placement isn't always consistent as well. He tends to reach. He tends to grab. Again, something that can be cleaned up a little bit. But I mean, the pluses heavily outweigh the cons. He's going
Yeah.
to be a top 10 pick. He's going to be exceptional. He's going to be a very good high end tackle in the NFL.
I'm gonna go ahead and talk about him because he's my one, and then we'll talk about Joel. You can talk about Joel, and then we'll go. So, yeah, he's a freak. I like it. He's a fucking freak, athletic freak. He's got the
Going
burst.
to test very well.
Yes, is very laterally quick. He's gonna be, and you kind of already mentioned that's why it's a big plus for me. He can play anything on the line, which is a fucking dream. Like, because when you're like, well, like we talked about JC Latham, like, he only really plays right tackle. Well,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of limits you. Like, and when you have a guy like Olu who can play everything, he's like, well, you know, fuck, we're good here. We have a left guard, we have a left tackle. Oh, but we need a right guard, a right tackle. Let's see what else we can get too. That also opens you up in the draft and free agency
Mm-hmm.
to fill, be like, okay, we got him. Who else can we get? Oh, we can put him there, and it works out. So that's really why he's gonna be my number one too. Other than the fact that he's a freak of nature. You did talk about the nitpicks against him, but I'm willing to overlook that for him. I like Olu a lot. He's my number one guy. All right, let's talk about Joe Alt. You're number one guy.
Joe Alt is my number 1 tackle in the 2024 NFL draft. That is Joe Alt out of Notre Dame. And again, as I mentioned before, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do 1A and 1B. And it was like splitting hairs, but I think the long-term potential of Joe Alt is just a little bit higher than Olu. Which I just realized that you didn't have Kingsley in your top 5, I don't think.
I didn't.
I'm interested to see what Trey says about that.
I just don't know why you did that. Why did you do that? You did not have to do that.
Because I like chirping. Anyway.
Yeah, you didn't have to do that. That was nasty.
I wouldn't be shocked
you need to go
if
take a shower. Nasty little boy.
I do actually. That is
little
true.
Mouse?
I need to take a shower.
You're a nasty little mouse.
Why am I a mouse?
I don't know. The kids we've been calling each other mouses, and I don't know why. So it's kind of caught on. Yeah, you're just a little mouse.
Hey, listen, because I know some of his students watch these videos. Can you put in the comments what the hell a mouse is and what that means?
Stinky little cheese mouse. Little stinky little cheese mouse. All right, let's go.
So is the cheese mouse a mouse that's made of cheese?
No, the mouse that likes stinky cheese. Stinky mouse.
Isn't that all mice?
I don't know.
So I feel like that's redundant. Okay.
You build off like Remy off of Ratatouille. All right.
Hey, I watched that movie last night. I'm not bullshitting.
Yeah. Well,
I watched that movie
like
last night.
You look like him. You got as much
Hey,
shoulder hair as he does.
That means I could chef it up. All right, I like that. Getting back on subject here.
Mouse.
I wouldn't be shocked if on his rookie deal that Joe Alt doesn't make. Or wait, hold on. Let me figure out if I'm phrasing this correctly. I think Joe Alt on his rookie deal could make an All-Pro team.
As a rookie?
No, not as a rookie. On his rookie deal.
Oh, during those first 5 years.
So during the first 5 years, I could see Joe Alt becoming an All-Pro at left tackle. He's going to be a stallion.
Oh.
Like Joe Alt's getting the stallion tag.
He's getting the stallion.
If you know, you know. He is built like a fucking redwood tree, Alex. 6'8", 320 pounds.
I could take
he moves like somebody. I don't want to say half because like that would be like you and I if we were athletic, which we both know we're not. He can move exceptionally well. I was about to say like you may be able to like move a little bit, but I would not classify you as athletic.
All right, let's not get crazy. You don't have to say I'm not athletic.
I didn't say you're not athletic.
You basically just call me morbidly obese.
You want to try saying that again correctly the first time?
Morbidly obese.
It took you long enough. His first step is great.
Little mouse.
His first step is great. His kickback is exactly where you want it to be. Pest control, we call about rats. I get it. His wingspan, big old wingspan. He's got some big old arms on him. That gets him to his defender first. Yeah, I know. I gave you shit. It's karma coming back by me in the ass. Karma gods didn't like it too much.
Yeah.
He is going to, if he goes to a system that really loves to air out the ball, he's going to eat because he's dominant in pass protection. Didn't give up a ton of sacks in Notre Dame. His pad level is always consistent, where you want to be. My only two. Hold on. That's fucking crazy. For reference, he's calling me, and I know that because Waluigi's the fucking pitcher. You fucking rat. No, I freaked out because like my wrist started buzzing like I was getting a call, and I was like, "Who the? I'm on Do Not Disturb right now." And then I see Alex, and I'm like, "Alex, we're literally recording."
I went and changed your name for the bit. I had to.
I respect the commitment to the bit, I guess. The only two knocks on how I have on him is his hand placement could be cleaned up. His hand placement isn't always consistent. He lunges a little bit as well, which could lead him to get some penalties sometimes. Both things that could easily be fixed. Otherwise, every single tool is there to be an all-pro type of tackle in the NFL.
He lacks lateral quickness sometimes. That is my knack. And
that is a fair knack.
And sometimes his footwork, not the best I've seen.
Okay.
That's it.
I think footwork is one of his strong suits.
Well, it's inconsistent.
Okay.
That's all the knacks I have on him. He's a good guy. I like him. Number 2 guy.
You should like him. He's from Notre Dame. That's your school.
Yeah. Well, you know. No, don't get these guys thinking I went to Notre Dame. I'm not that smart.
Oh, trust us, we know. Let's do a live brainstorm really quick for the viewers for next week. So we have 2 options that I could see us doing for next week's video.
Yeah, you're just gonna pass by that, huh? All right, I'm watching you, little mouse.
Straight on through. So what we could do is this Sunday's the Super Bowl, right? Which I want to talk about that really quickly on the way out of here. After this, we'll have the entire draft order set. We could do a full first round mock where we do all 32 picks. And we've done all of our offensive rankings as well. So we have some link backs as well.
Yep. Okay.
Or we could just go ahead and move on to the defense, and we can go over our defensive line rankings.
No, I want to do another mock.
You heard it here first. Next week's video, episode 6 of Draft Busters, is going to be a complete first round NFL mock draft.
I'm glad you're bringing some energy first. Why couldn't you do that before we talked about the Fat Boys?
Because after you told me, and then I decided, all right, I'll start bringing a little energy.
Yeah, they're just an afterthought to you.
It's
You'd be the type. You would be the type of guy to, yeah. I'm pointing at you.
Hey, don't you point at me?
You'd be the type of
Hey,
guy
bucko.
that'd be a quarterback, and you wouldn't even treat your lineman.
That's why you built like this microphone.
You know what? That's why you built like this cat ear.
You know what? That's why you built like a pause button on a video.
That's fucking crazy. You know what? Look at the cam. You see the cam? The cam button right there? That's how you built.
You know what? You see the little invite thing on the bottom? That's what you built like. The little invite icon.
I don't have that.
Fucking nerd.
Yeah, you're the fucking host, you dumb fuck.
I'm sorry that you're not special enough to have the StreamYard login, because if you had the login, you could also see it.
I actually have hosted before.
I'd love to see you host a show.
And it was not easy. So I'll have you know that my illiterateness in technology did not make it easy for me.
That's why I was wondering. I was like, you were gonna have a hard time hosting a show. All right, we're getting out of here. This has gone off the rails for too long. Down there on the bottom, Chick Street joins me every single week. My name's Garrett Burrows. You lasted another video. Hopefully next week, Alex will be feeling a little bit better. If you have not subscribed already to the YouTube channel, go ahead and smash the subscribe button. If you like the video, please leave a thumbs up, comment, share it with a friend. It helps the algorithm. And keep an eye out for next week. We teased it that the next video is going to be a mock draft. It's mock draft season, baby. We're going to see you next time.